Okay, hello everyone. This is just the kind of pilot episode of the VOD reviews of our first scrim. Unfortunately, I ran into a bit of a conundrum because I completely forgot after the scrim to collect the replay codes for the scrim. However, I was able to get the last 3 games, so that should be enough to do some decent review. Otherwise, it would be super long anyway. There were a couple moments just from this Toronto game that I wanted to point out for my own gameplay, actually. This video is just going to be looking at the team as a whole and myself, and I'm going to be doing individual videos for each of you as well, because I think, obviously it's a team game, but when we look at our own skills, that's how we are able to come together when we know where we're coming from. Okay, so the first moment I wanted to have a look at is here at this fight at about 4:10 in the video. Unfortunately, the stream is a bit pixelated. Sorry about this. It won't be so bad when we're looking at the replay codes that I grabbed for the last 3 games. But yeah, please bear with me. So this what we just saw is me wraithing across the screen. Let me play that back. You can see any second I'm going to appear wraithing just there. This was a big mistake on my part, because up until this point I'd been doing a really good job of understanding that the enemy team, their win condition is to land a hook, or that's one of them, and I'm going to be a prime hook target because Hog can one-shot Reaper pretty consistently. This Wraith really accomplished nothing. I'm already safe in a Winston bubble. I was going to turn the corner, but really I don't want to be doing that. I'm now on an 8-second cooldown and I'm susceptible to hook, and wouldn't you know it, the Winston bubble breaks, and there's the hook. There it is, straight away, clean and easy, and that is the first death in the fight. Unfortunately, it's very pixelated, but that is me up there, dead. That is really bad. That was bad from me, because little statistic about Overwatch. I think it was estimated by an Overwatch League pro, I can't remember who, a little while back, that the first team to get a kill wins the team fight 60 to 70% of the time. It's because in Overwatch, it's obviously much more of a team-oriented game than even Valorant, because in Valorant, one player can kill 5 people. In Overwatch, it takes a lot more than that. One player can barely ever clutch out against 5 people, because heroes multiply each other's strengths. And that means even 4v5, the team with 5 has a bigger advantage than the sum of one player. So if you're allowing yourself to die first consistently and easily, like I just did with a big silly mistake, you're going to be putting yourself at a disadvantage. So yeah, my bad for this fight. I'm sorry about that. Moving on to the next example. Okay, so this is the next example. It is a fight. Ollie's now swapped on to Sigma, so we're now watching him play Sigma, and it's about here is where I want to look at, because what I'm looking for here as Reaper, I think that might be me jumping from the top up there, but I can't quite tell, is I'm looking for a Death Blossom. And there are 2 things the enemy team can do to stop a Death Blossom. They've got Hook, which will stun me out of it and probably kill me, and they've got Suzu, which will allow the enemy team to be invulnerable for it's 0.85 of a second now after the recent changes. And that's bad for Reaper because he's quite reliant on the lifesteal he gets from his ultimate to survive it. And if he's not dealing damage, he can just get bursted down. So I'm watching very intently here for them to use Hook and use Suzu. And if we play the clip, Hog hooks Ollie here, which isn't a great hook from Hog, to be honest. He can't one-shot a Sigma. It's not his priority target. He's just kind of doing a thing over here. And I'm pretty sure it just happened, but Kiriko did use Suzu. Oh, it was a minute ago. I'm not sure if I can find it. It's quite quick. Oops, sorry. Yeah, there it is. Just saw it there. But yeah, so there's Hook and there's Suzu, which basically means that this Death Blossom I do here, right? I think I get a quintuple kill. It's just free and given to me. So yeah, it was a better play from me there than the last fight where I entered and died first. So yeah, that was the two clips I wanted to look at from this game. I'm gonna do one more, I think, in just a second. Okay. So this is now on King's Row. This is a different game, but I just wanted to have a look at my wall usage here. It's a good idea for a wall, because what I want to be doing with wall is cutting off a player, but most likely the tank, from the team. And this definitely cuts off his escape. He's not aware it's there. If he walks backwards, he's going to run into it. However, his team has a big old window to shoot through here. That was a misplay from me. They were on the payload. I'd maybe assumed in the moment that they'd be back behind the wall. But either way, what happens is Ollie, as any Ryan should, attempts to pin the wall, which will either pin the Ryan against the wall or force him to stun himself, allowing our team to kill him. But obviously, they have a sightline on the two Reinhardts, which means Ollie just gets absolutely bursted down by the Sojourn, which is my bad, because I should have cut that off. That's the point of the wall. So yeah, what I'm looking at here on these three examples is my ability usage and how I'm using them to try and interact with the enemy team. So with the first example, with my use of Wraith, that's a resource I've given away for free, and it's allowed the enemy team to use their resources to kill me. So I need to be thinking more clearly in the fights to come about how I'm going to use my abilities to counter, trying to use Wraith reactively to try and dodge hook rather than proactively to sit in a Winston bubble. In the second example, I was watching for the enemies, looking at what counterplay options they had to my ultimate, and once they'd exhausted them, notice and use it. And in this last example, it's getting the maximum value out of my abilities, which I just wasn't getting with that wall. Okay, so now on to the VODs in-game that I managed to capture. This is a Circuit Royale. This is a map we struggled on, so this is one we're going to be looking at quite a bit, I guess. Now, one reason we struggled is because I'm new to Ash, and I made some mistakes. So, bit of in-game context, we just killed... No, I'm going to start that again. Okay, so now on to the VODs I managed to grab in-game. These should be better quality, and this is Circuit Royale. And this is one we struggled quite a bit on, so it's one we're going to be looking at pretty in-depth, I think, because obviously either Circuit or Junkertown are maps we're going to be, repeatedly playing, and we need to improve on. And one of the reasons we need to improve is me, because this Ash gameplay was not my best. Yeah, so one caveat I will say, just to defend myself a little bit, is I'm not a hitscan player, and I was using a sensitivity and mouse that was unfamiliar to me at college. So I wasn't landing shots like I would at home, or well, even at home. I don't aim well. It's not my strong suit. But yeah, so this Tracer is way out of position. This is a high priority target, and I'm gonna try and kill her. However, I make a big old mistake right here. I used Ke6n. That is a 10-second cooldown. It does enough damage to kill her if I was about 5 feet closer. I was not. That was a pointless Ke6n, and it's now on a 10-second cooldown. Tracer does die, not at the hands of me, because as I said, I can't aim. Yeah. Anyway, what happens now? Ollie's got Tracer. Well done, Ollie. Now Doomfist is in my face. And if I had Ke6n, I would survive, because I'm about to receive a very clutch Suzu from Josh. Well done, Josh. You did what you should. I did not. So 10 HP and I get saved. And if I had Ke6n, I could jump back into spawn. However, as it stands, I get absolutely rolled. So, what we're learning again here is that something I specifically need to work on is my ability usage. I know when I should use abilities, but in practice I often don't, and I need to manage them a bit better. So that is the first example of me throwing on circuit that we're going to look at. On to the next one. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to look at my gameplay for in Circuit Royale is my positioning. I'm new to playing Ke6n, so positioning is a big old part of what differentiates good from great Ke6n players, other than aim, which I already don't have. But anyway, so this first example, this is right after the last one, the next fight pretty much. We have a Doomfist in our backlines. I don't really want to be here dueling a Doomfist. I've kind of made myself quite diveable because I'm quite isolated. My supports are preoccupied with, the entire enemy team, and I'm kind of dueling him alone. Where I would like to be is maybe behind Mercy here, and I can get a little angle, a little peek out onto kind of the open space over there, or if it's safe for me to arrive here, up here, and that gives me a great angle. Obviously they've got beat at the moment, so I wouldn't be able to do anything with it, and Soja might pressure me, but this is the kind of location I want to be as Ash. I don't want to be here doing a Doomfist. Quite a lot in this first fight, I won't play it through, but I spend a lot of time in this room actually. Well, the next example is in this room, and kind of up on here, where it's a great defensive line because they can't come past this. However, we're attacking, and we want to get control of this space out here. So first strike on my positioning is this right here. Don't want to be here. Next positioning moment is at 249, and I believe this is where I'm, just in this room. So I've noticed for some reason Ash's hat is very buggy in replay mode. So anyway, that's quite funny. Moving on, what I'm supposed to be looking at here is where I'm standing, because I have an angle on Doomfist and Doomfist alone right now, and kind of my Roadhog's already shooting at him. He's empowered. I don't really want to be shooting at Doomfist right now. Where I would like to be, well, where present me wants past me to be, is where Max is, up here. Max had the right idea, because look at this angle. He can see 1, 2, 3, all 5 enemy players right there. Obviously, he needs to be hugging this wall a little bit more, because the Sojourn is, well, here, and I think about to be firing in his direction, so he could corner jiggle a little bit around this corner, but this is absolutely where I would like to be, with a big old sight line, maybe a Mercy pocket as well, and I'll be doing the big damage. Not in this room, where, spoiler alert, later on in this fight, the Tracer comes in, I'm forced back, and I'm no longer looking at the open space that Ash wants to, but I'm in an enclosed space for the Tracer. So this is bad positioning from Noah's Ash. Yeah, on to the next example. Okay, so later on in the game, not much to analyze from my own perspective there for the rest. I'm sure you will remember we end up playing on because of the scrim code. They push on past and keep attacking. So I am Sombra here, and I notice that Max is about to be in trouble. So I run over to help. I'm going to slow it down a bit, which is what I should do. However, I make a silly mistake, and that is I go for the hack, I miss the hack, and now there's a pulse bomb behind me. If Noah was at all thinking, he would know that he'd already put his translocator down in a safe position for exactly an occasion like this, so I could just teleport away. Noah did not do that. Noah allowed himself to be killed by a sticky bomb on the floor. So that's just I don't even know, that's just me not thinking. My bad. At least Max is okay in the end. Yep, I totally should have survived that. Don't know why I didn't. Okay, this is the next thing I wanted to look at from my own perspective, and that is why I put this translocator right here. While I would love to say that this is a genius move, it definitely isn't. This is right in the open, very easy for anyone to see. They have a Tracer. Oh no, they don't, not anymore. They have a Doomfist who's going to be jumping up here. He's going to see it, and it's going to get broken. And a Sombra without translo is a very delicate thing. That's a strange direction for the bullets to be travelling with the guns. But anyway, yeah, this translow's not good. It doesn't cause me to die, but I do die a couple times in this scrim because of poor translocator placement. For example, the very next example I have, I'm going to jump ahead a bit, to 8:30 in the VOD. This is shocking for me, because look where I put my translocator. It is all the way... Wait, I think it's all the way in here. Am I missing it? There we go. Oh, it is. Okay, it wasn't here. I was right. I guess I missed that. I'm blind. However, Cassidy did not miss that. This translow that was rubbish. I guess when I placed it, I didn't expect them to come around this way. I totally should have, because most teams will do that, rather than go on these very spammable stairs here. And I literally just teleported right into the hands of their counterflanker, Cassidy. So yeah, that was silly. That's something I'm going to be working on for scrims to come, is being smarter with my translocators when I'm playing Sombra, because otherwise I thought my Sombra was quite good, but just these mistakes let me down a couple times. So yeah, I'm about to die. Now, just to raise my spirits a little bit, I wanted to look at an example of me doing okay on Circuit Royale. I'm definitely trying to do what Sombra, new Sombra in Overwatch 2 is aiming to do, which is utilize hack to interrupt the plans of the enemy, pretty much. You know, seems self-explanatory, but let's have a look at how I do. So I notice Kiriko is on her own. Obviously, she's going to TP out, but I just want to pressure it out of her. So that's what I do. She's gone, and I turn around, and Doomfist landed. Enemy Doomfist. He is, well, you can't see it right now, but Ollie is also Doomfist, and is over there, and they're about to try and punch each other. Now, I almost, very nearly, I'm trying my best, I almost interrupt the punch from this Doomfist. He just gets it off. You can just see the shadow of it there. And however, it does mean he takes, I think it's 30% increased damage from me, and he's interrupted for the next few seconds. So I think we're able to burst him down here. Yeah. And then the next thing is, because hack is on such a short cooldown, I'm able to disrupt this Cassidy. Which I don't know what he was doing. Hold on, where is he? There he is. So, you know, I hear the high noon, see him glowing like the absolute sun in the top up there, and quickly react, turn around, and hack him out of it. Now, very luckily, you might see, my translocator's actually already up there. He didn't notice it. This isn't really a bad translate position, because the Cassidy shouldn't be there. He could have seen that, and that would have been really unfortunate, but he didn't. So I'm able to TP up, and I finish him off. With a bit of that aim. There we go. I get stuck, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that was better Sombra from me, with a bit of luck and a bit of good awareness. So yeah, there we go. That's Circuit Royale. So the first thing I was going to look at for my own gameplay here on Ilios is my death right off the bat. I have the first death this game, and yeah, it shows some good thinking but bad execution. So I'll let it play out. So, what happened here is our game plan as a team was to hack the Doomfist and focus him down. This style is still good in Overwatch 2. It's not as good as it was in Overwatch 1, where hack lasted like a million seconds, and it was much easier to isolate targets who were hacked. But, you know, it still works in Overwatch 2. And we were going for it here on the Doomfist. Excuse my voice. However, what I didn't think was how the rest of Doomfist's team was playing. I completely tunnel visioned. You can completely see it. I see the Doom and I go for him. And I completely forget he has a Tracer on his team, Sojourn, who can do absurd amounts of damage, Kiriko, Lucio. And they absolutely, as you saw, melt me in seconds. I just come out of invis in front of them and I'm just dead. So what I could have done is I could have run maybe round to this corner here, Obviously there is still a window where they can see me here, but I can much easier juke around this corner. What would probably have been best has been on the side where my team is, over here. Here I can get a hack on the Doom without seeing his team. So yeah, that was a mis-execution from me. Right thinking, wrong play. Okay, so this is the next example, and this is where we turn around, or this is the fight when we turn around this match, or not match, but, you know, lighthouse. And it's probably down to me having smart positioning here. I'm kind of just arriving because I've been being, in the just last few seconds, this Trace has been pressuring me, but I get the advantage, chase her back onto point, and I follow her on. And here we can see a much nicer position for a Sombra to be. Sombra does not want to be the focus of attention, wants to be seeing people's backs like this and this, and hearing call-outs from teammates, which I was getting, and seeing low health bars about people to focus. So here, very easily, because the team did most of the damage really, able to focus down the Lucio, and then in a second I will make my way onto... Oh no, I get the social first. Ignore the tracking. Please focus on my positioning, not my aim there. I got the kill. And this fight drags on a little bit longer, but we have enough of an advantage here to close it out, despite this meteor strike. So, that's an improvement. Very next map, this is Ruins. We lose this map, however, it starts off well for me, as I do a little bit of nice play. It's not enough to win the fight, but I thought it was worth highlighting. I get the hack on Doomfist, which is the game plan, which denies him from blocking for a second or two, even though he still gets enough support to survive. Here, so get some damage on him, and then the block comes up, but it's about half health. Now, this is where I notice something, that they are on Echo, and Max is on Reaper. Our supports aren't going to be able to do much, and Ollie's on Monkey, which means I am probably the only DPS who has the range and utility to focus out the Echo. So I notice in about a second, there, the Echo jumps in and flies over our team, and yep, there it is. I kind of think to myself, wait a second, and flick up, get the hack, and secure the kill on the Echo. I think I also interrupted her finishing beam, which was quite nice. But yeah, reload, and then I kill her here. So yeah, that was a nice start there for me. However, it gets worse from here. Okay, so this is the next fight. This is me again on Sombra on the right flank, looking for some value, and I make a complete rookie error on Sombra, and I'm going to use this example to show a little bit of Overwatch theory that I should have been paying attention to at this moment, and the fact that I don't, it costs me my life. So here's my translocator here, and here is their Doomfist. Now, quite a useful way of thinking in Overwatch is any space behind the enemy tank is enemy territory. They can comfortably survive in this space, really. Behind their tank, where the tank's commanding space and attention. Obviously, the Doomfist isn't really commanding attention right now because he's hiding. This is where Ollie is. His supports are behind him. Pretty safe right now. What is not behind him, and what is not safe, is my translocator. Now, as Sombra, I can definitely be here. You know, they can't see me. I can quite freely roam their back lines behind their tank. But what can't be here is my translocator. Because if I want to teleport to somewhere safe, I don't want it to be in the middle of enemy territory. It should be back here, probably around this health pack, because Ollie's obviously going to move forward a bit. That's where I want my translocator to be. And this big error, this is, you know, something I'm working on my Sombra, is my translocator positioning. So I go in, I spray a bit, get out the Suzu, which is good, by the way. That's a value poke from me, getting out Suzu, because that's on like a 15 or something cooldown, 15 second, I don't know. And it's very high impact ability, so I was pleased with that. What I was less pleased with is the fact that Lucio's turned in this corner, and my translocator's right there, and there's a Doomfist on my head. And very quickly, well, the Doomfist didn't see me, but I am killed because I have no translocator, and I am the first to die in this fight. So yeah, that's a mistake from me. Ooh, that is gruesome. And that's something I'm going to be working on. So that's an example of how we can use VODs to, you know, examine our gameplay and see what we can do better next time. This is first fight, which we might have just kind of won because they weren't expecting me on Junkrat. Yeah, nothing really to analyse here. What I would like to analyse is at 2:29 when I make a mistake with my rip tire. This doesn't cost us the game. This is quite a, well, it would have been much better in any other game to get this kill. What I try to do is I try and weave my rip tire in here and realise there's no exit there. And this room only leads back to the direction I came. So I miscalculated the route I would take my tire on, and kind of the only place I'm able to, oh, actually no, I could have taken this window up here. That would have been much better. I could have jumped down on the Ana there. But instead what I do, what is going on here with these particle effects? What I do is I ride out the rip tire to about here. The Winston's backed up a little bit at this point, and it just gets mowed down by the Bastion. Yeah, I go in the room and go, oh, nope, can't go this way. Ride it out into the open, and yeah, it's just gone. So yeah, just while analysing this, I spotted this window. That's something I'll bear in mind for future. I could have even gone down this back corridor here, snuck up on the Lucio. That would have been great. But yeah, that is one of the only mistakes you can make on Junkrat, and that I made here. And yeah, there's not much else to look at on Coliseum. The only other thing I wanted to look at was at 9:13, where I slightly mess up because I don't land the one-shot combo that Junkrat has, which is basically when you primary fire, land a direct hit, and then follow up with his concussion mine, which kills 200 HP heroes. What I do instead here is I skip the primary fire bit, and I just see a Lucio go, ah, shoot, and I threw the concussion mine, which is going to get him to about half HP, and launches him in the air. I go for, you know, the TF2 follow-up shot, where I get a direct hit in the air, but I don't make it. And why I wanted to highlight this is, A, I should have gone for the one-shot, and B, what I do instead is I scream in voice, Lucio low, Lucio low, and Ollie was an absolute unit, and here he comes, and he said, yeah, he hears me shout Lucio low, and in he comes and crushes him like a bug. And I just wanted to highlight, you know, how target priority as a team can result in getting kills we wouldn't have, and getting kills we would have quicker.